Make a date with Reverend Dr. Ebenezer Markwei at 6 a.m. from Monday to Saturday on Graphic Online via Facebook and YouTube as he expounds on matters of faith. Graphic Online, truth and accuracy every day.
Hello, this is Reverend Dr. Ebenezer Markwei of Living Streams International, bringing you matters of faith with Graphic Online. And this morning I'd like to coin my thoughts with the word, the table of arrogance. You know, sometimes I believe that people either intentionally or unintentionally are drawn to sit at the table of arrogance. And this is captured with the story of Moses and Pharaoh. You remember when God spoke to Moses and said, "Go and tell Pharaoh to let my people go." I mean, that was a command of God. And God said to Moses, "Go and tell Pharaoh to let my people go." And then I'm looking at the conversation between Moses and Pharaoh, and I mean, I was just mesmerized. I mean, Pharaoh opens his mouth like, "Which God are you talking about?" I mean, the level of arrogance that Pharaoh showed, you know, and at that time, you know, the Egyptians believed that their Pharaoh was an offspring of a god. In actual fact, he was a god or a god spring or something like that, God's son or something. And the arrogance with which he answered Moses, "What God are you talking about? I mean, I won't let them go today. I'll let them go." That level of arrogance. And then I began to sit down and I said, you know what? There are many times some of us are drawn to that same table. And we go and sit at that table of arrogance. Let me just show you what makes people arrogant. And I just want to tell you about three things. Number one, the arrogance of success. That is when you think you are successful and that success has gone into your head. And therefore now you walk with a gait of arrogance, or now you sit and feast at the table of arrogance because you are successful and all other people are not as successful as you are. The arrogance of success. The next one is the arrogance of power. You know, sometimes when you're in a position of prominence or you're in a very powerful position, power is nice, so power is sweet. You know, you say to this person, go, and the person goes, say to this person, come. You ask people to jump and then they ask you how high. Man, and everybody's either licking your boots or any other place you might even think of, you know. And if you're not very careful, you'll be drawn to that table of arrogance. It's called the arrogance of power. And that is when you become a god to yourself. We see many examples in the Bible where Herod was described as God. You know, he was described as, this is surely the voice of God. The arrogance of power. And then the next one is the arrogance of wealth. You know, sometimes wealth can just go through your head, especially if you walk in the valley of poverty and you've not known that kind of wealth. And all of a sudden, what just happens, and man, it goes through your head, and then, you know, you walk with your head on cloud 9. You are the master of all you survey. I mean, you go around and people will be literally begging you for morsels of bread. The arrogance of power, the arrogance of wealth, and the arrogance of success. You know one thing? See the end of Pharaoh. Anybody who sits at the table of arrogance, you pay a price. Not today, but tomorrow. Maybe it might not be imminent, but it's just a matter of time. Because anytime Humpty Dumpty sits on the wall, Humpty Dumpty is going to fall and have a great crash. And all the king's men and all the king's horses can never put Humpty Dumpty again. The table of arrogance is so attractive, and the table of arrogance is so subtle that sometimes you walk and sit there without even knowing that that's where you are sitting. But those who know you and those who have been with you and those who are around you can know that one way or the other, arrogance has crept into your voice, or arrogance has crept into your mannerisms, or arrogance has crept into your actions, the kind of things that you do, what you speak, what you think, and what you do, what you say, what you think, and what you do, then begins to give people portraits of arrogance. You know what? It is in your interest to avoid this table of arrogance, because in the end, you're going to pay a very bad price for it. Well, the options are yours. See you later.